The Kush mystery is sometimes likened to that of Atlantis, like it never existed, but the land of Kush and its existence was as real as the sunrise. Overshadowed by Egypt to the north, it was a place of unknown breadth and depth that was far up the river Nile. The old kingdom of Kush was in what is now the Republic of Sudan, and their reign of power started after the end of the Bronze Age and the fall of the new kingdom of Egypt. The native name of the kingdom, Kush, was given or created to reference people who lived there before the country of Kush was even made. The word is also used in the names of Kushite people, like King Kashta, which comes from the word K3T3, which means one from, the land of Kush. In general, Kush was the name for the area south of the first dam. King Kashta of the Kushite invaded Egypt in the 8th century BC. Since then, the Kushite kings ruled Egypt for a century as pharaohs of the 25th dynasty until Psamtik I got rid of them in 656 BC. Due to the invasion of Kush and the close proximity between the Kushites and Egyptians, Egyptians were influenced by some cultures of this ancient society. Even historians have closely linked the study of Kush with Egyptology. This is in line with the general belief that the complex social and political development of Egypt's neighbors can help us understand Egypt's own history and how they relate. The Kushites also made burial mounds and pyramids, and they worshipped some of the same gods as the Egyptians, especially Ammon and Isis. As the Kushites began to worship these gods, they started to use some of the gods' names as their throne names, therefore being influenced by the Egyptians, as well as also influencing the Egyptians with their own culture. Even during the Napatan period, Egyptian hieroglyphs were used, though the writing was only done in the court and churches at this time. The kings of Kush were seen as guardians of the state religion and were in charge of keeping the gods' homes in good shape. Some experts think that the economy of the kingdom of Kush was based on giving people what they didn't have. The government would get taxes in the form of extra food, which it would then give back to the people. Others think that most people worked on the land and didn't need anything from the government, so as a result, they didn't give anything to the government. Gold and iron were two of the most important resources that ancient Kush had. Gold made Kush rich because it could be traded with Egypt and other countries close by. At the time, iron was the most important metal. It was used to make tools and weapons that were very strong, and Kush had both resources in abundance. There were also two different capital towns in the kingdom of Kush. Napata was the first capital. The city of Napata was in northern Kush and was near the Nile River, but later the capital moved to the city of Meroe around 590 BCE. Meroe was further south, so it was further away from Egypt and the war there. It was also a place where a lot of iron was made, which was important for the kingdom. Meroe was so rich that it became legendary, and it is said that the Persian king Cambyses II sent an army to ransack the city. If that mission ever happened, it never made it to the city, and legend says that Cambyses' army was beaten by the weather and the harsh terrain they had to cross to get close to Meroe. The reign of Kushites over Egypt saw religion, the arts and buildings all brought back to how they were in the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom and the New Kingdom. During the 25th dynasty, pyramids were built all over the Nile Valley for the first time since the Middle Kingdom. Many of these pyramids are in what is now Sudan. Sadly, everything in Kush was burnt down by the Kushites when they invaded the kingdom around 330 CE. In 20 years of the invasion, the kingdom had ceased to exist, and no one could be called Kushites again, though the Kushites were doomed even if the attack had not happened. It had brought this on itself by deforestation. The iron industry needed a lot of wood to make charcoal and fire the furnaces that made the iron. This caused the once abundant forest to be cut down. The soil was worn down because too many cows and crops were grown in the fields. Meroe was already falling apart before the Kushites got there, so it would have been abandoned anyway, which might have contributed to their defeat at the hands of the Kushites. When the last of its people left the city around the year 350 CE, the kingdom of Kush had come to an end forever. The only thing left of them now are just rocks and ancient tools compared to the buzzing city of Egypt that they once ruled. That is all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, you will certainly enjoy this video on the discovery of the ancient wonders of Egypt, where we explored several ancient Egypt's monuments. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy this video. You can also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you never miss out on insightful videos like this. Thank you for watching. Till next time.